Please.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Sarvalokanam, Vishaje Bhavaroginam, Nidaye Sarva Vidyanam, Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Bindu Trust welcomes one and all to the Hunnime session, edition 6. Today we have our Bindu Trust founder and spiritual mentor, Shri Keshava Prasad, with us. Being Guru Hunnime, a very auspicious day, we thought we will have our Hunnime session on decoding the secrets of Srichakra. Our first Guru is Mother. Shri Lalitā Tripurasundarī is Mother of our universe. So it would be very apt to know about Shri Lalitā Tripurasundarī through decoding the secrets of Srichakra. First of all, I thank all of you for being here on time, and I also welcome all the online viewers.
I'm getting message that please share the link.
ಇದೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. You don't go to the link that I sent.
No, then that is what they are asking.
No. ನಾವು PDF ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ. They have to go.
It's there in the link is in my status.
ಬರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
Hoobit. Saraswati in the Hoobit.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
We have no
So
time.
we'll begin today's session with an invocation song on Lord Ganesha, a very well-known composition of Muthuswami Dikshithar, Vatapi Ganapatim, in Hamsadhvani Raga, set to Aditala. Vatapi Ganapatim bhajeham, 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 Varanasyam Shri Varanasyam Varapradam, Shri Varanasyam Varapradam, Shri Varanasyam Varapradam, Shri Vatapi Ganapatim bhaje. भूतादेशं सेवितचरणं भूतादेशं सेवितचरणं भूतभौतिकप्रपञ्चभरणं भूतभौतिकप्रपञ्चभरणं वीतरागिणं विनतयोगिनं वीतरागिणं विनतयोगिनं विश्वकारणं विघ्नवारणं वीतरागिणं विनतयोगिनं विश्वकारणं विघ्नवारणं गा पगरि सनि रे गरि सनि पसा नि पनि सरि गा गा पगरि सनि रे रे गरि सनि पसा सा नि पनि सरि गा 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 पगरि सनि रे 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 गरि सनि पसा सा 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 नि पनि सरि ग प ग ग पगरि सरि ग रे रे गरि सनि सरि ग रे ग प नि प नि सनि ग रे स नि प ग गरि सा रे ग प नि सरि ग प नि सरि ग प नि रे ग प नि स रे ग प नि स रे ग प नि स प नि स रे ग प नि स रे ग प नि स रे ग ग नि स रे प नि स रे प ग प ग रि स रे प पि गणपतिं भजे हम वरण स्योवरप्रदौ श्रीवादपि गणपतिं भजे पुरा कुम्भसम्भव मुनिवर प्रपूजितं त्रिकोणमध्यगतं मुरारे प्रमुखाद्युपस्थितं मूलाधारक्षेत्रस्थितं परादिचत्वारिव गात्मकं प्रणवस्वरूप वक्रतुण्डं निरन्तरं निटिलचन्द्रखण्डं निजवामकरविधृतेषु दण्डं कराम्बुजपाशबीजपूरं कलुषविदूरं भूतकरं कराम्बुजपाशबीजपूरं कलुषविदूरं भूतकरं हरादिगुरुगुहतोषितबिम्बं हंसध्वनिभूषितहेरम्बं हरादिगुरुगुहतोषितबिम्बं हंसध्वनिभूषितहेरम्बं वादापि गणपतिं भजेऽहं वरण स्योवरप्रदौ श्रीवादपि गणपतिं भजे Over to you.
Yes, mic ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಕೇಳಿಸುತ್ತಾ? Can you hear me? Thank you for joining us today. Today is a very auspicious day, Guru Purnima. We see our own Adi Guru, Shri Dakshinamurti here. So with his blessings, we will begin our program today. We just finished chanting of Soundarya Lahari, some shlokas, and also Lalita Sahasranama. The last 4 namas of Lalita Sahasranama goes this way. Srichakra Raja Nilaya, Shri Tripurasundarī, Shri Śiva-Śakti Rupini Lalitambika. I think the last 5, right? So why is this designed this way? So 1, Srichakra Raja Nilaya. That means she is the one who resides in Srichakra as her abode. That means Srichakravu avala nilayavagide. She lives in this Srichakra. That's 1. Her name is Srimad Tripurasundarī. And she is Shri Shiva. Shiva is Paramashiva. Shiva's wife is Shiva. So that's her name. And Śiva-Śakti Rupini. That's the most important one. So Shiva and Shakti are fused together in Parabrahma Tattva. And where do they reside? In the central point called Bindu in Srichakra, the center point. And she is called as Lalitambika. So it ends there. Lalita Sahasranama ends here, and that's where Soundarya Lahari picks up. It says, same Śiva-Śakti Rupini is taken as Śiva-Śaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktaha. So the continuation of Lalita Sahasranama is Soundarya Lahari. So that's how it is. Adi Shankara has designed Soundarya Lahari in such a way that where Lalita Sahasranama ends, he picks it up from there. So it's so beautiful. So everything is designed so very beautifully. So with this preamble, let us go and take some time to, I want to make it interactive. So what do you think is the purpose of Srichakra? Good question, big question. If you can't answer that, that's fine. Why do you want to know about Srichakra? Yeah, who will answer? Why do you want to know about it?
For self-realization.
Yes, that's a very lofty, yes, it is correct. But how can you do self-realization through knowing Srichakra? Please go ahead.
It's a yantra.
Correct.
And we can use it as a tool.
Okay.
As a vehicle. It's like a tool. Just like
Sure.
a mechanic requires a tool. This is a tool for our growth as a towards.
The very yantra is in the shape of a pyramid.
Right.
Where hierarchically our soul has to travel to that point of liberation.
Okay.
So that might...
Liberation is a good word. That's a goal. So what is liberation called in Sanskrita? Moksha. How many of you have had moksha here? Maybe Kapala moksha, but not real moksha. Yeah, moksha is the goal. We don't even know what moksha is, but that is our goal.
Is there any difference between mukti and moksha?
Both are same. Moksha, mukti, salokya, samipya, sarupya, sayujya, kaivalya. Please come, please. So they're all similar. Consider them the same. So either you get moksha where you're not born again, the final one, where you don't take janmas, or in this janma itself, can you reach a state where you are in the moksha sthiti? That is what Adi Shankara spoke about. Adi Shankara did not speak about one lofty kaivalya where you are not born again, because he says, who has seen it? We don't know. When it comes, it comes. but I want this to be my last janma. That goal you can have, but that may not happen because of all the karmas that we do. So we may end up living few more janmas. That few more can become much more. That also is not in our hands. So all these are karma related. But the goal is to reduce the number of janmas so that I'm not born again. That is the whole purpose of our Sanatana Dharma's philosophy or epistemology. However, coming back to what Adi Shankara said was, in this janma, how do I realize myself? How do I realize that moksha sthiti? So in that moksha sthiti, what is it called? Where does it reside? How is it diagrammatically represented? How do I realize that within myself? And what is the path to go towards that? But the point is this, that it's all encoded in highly cryptographic encryption. That if you have to decode and decrypt, not easy. Okay, lock and key ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. It is hiding in plain sight, like this. You can have Srichakra in front of you, but you can't decode it because the tool is not given to you. That's what you spoke about. The tool means the process of decoding is not given, right? With that, we will start with our quiz today. Whoever has not taken, children about 12 years, I think, should answer this. It's complex. Otherwise, there is no points. Parents or elders or guardians can help them. The first question that I have put here is, how many primary triangles are present in Srichakra? Okay, please answer. Some answers may be not there at all. Okay. Second question, the union of Shiva and Shakti in Srichakra is represented by A, circle and square, B, interlocking upward and downward triangles, C, dot and line, D, lotus petals. The third question is, what is the name of the central point in Srichakra? It is A, Bindumala, number B, Kamakoti, number C, Mahatripura, and D, Bindu. Fourth question, how many āvaraṇas or enclosures are there in Srichakra? 5, 8, 9 or 10? You can circle whichever you think is correct. Fifth question, the 5 downward pointing triangles in Srichakra represent what? A, Shakti, B, Shiva, C, Panchakritya, D, Atman. So Panchakritya is a new term for some people here. Alva? So okay, you can highlight it. I want to learn the meaning of Panchakritya. Okay. And sixth question, the upward pointing triangles in Srichakra represent. One downward answer madre upward banbidutte. If you think you can see here and answer, not easy. There are too many triangles, right? So upward pointing triangles in Srichakra represent A, Shiva, B, Maya, C, time, D, sound. All are confusing. Okay. People who are doing Soundarya Lahari can answer so much easily. Yes. Seventh question, what is the Sanskrit term for outermost square boundary of the Srichakra? Number A here is Kala Chakra, B, Bhupura, C, Maya Mandala, D, Prakara. Number 8, the central deity worshipped in Srichakra is A, Saraswati, B, Lalitā Tripurasundarī, C, Durga, and 4, Lakshmi. All are the union of one. But one is what you have to answer. The one. Ninth, what do the 8 petals in the second āvaraṇa of the Srichakra represent? A, 8 directions, B, 8 Vagdevis, C, 8 Siddhis, D, 8 limbs of yoga. Whoever has done 17th shloka of Soundarya Lahari, and we have not come to yet the 30th shloka, you will be able to answer these two. 10th question. Srichakra is often drawn or visualized in which orientation for worship? A. Inverted. B. Clockwise spiral. C. Tip pointing up. D. Spiral grid. Lot of engineering questions here. Correct? Because this is an engineering diagram. Yeah. So this is level 1. We will answer this question after I do my first part of the discourse today. Yeah, can you please put your mobiles on silent if you don't mind? Mine is not on silent, so if it rings, pardon me. So the first part is called The Mystery and Majesty of Srichakra. This is basically for listening, and you don't have to take notes because it's available on YouTube again. You can click on the link and go and see it once more. So I call you all dear sadhakas and sadhakis. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because your purva janmas karmas, good karmas have brought you here. Okay. ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮಗಳ ಸತ್ಕರ್ಮದ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ರೂಪದಿಂದ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಳಿತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Otherwise you would not be here. You would be doing PUBG or you would be doing something else. And Guru Purnima, holy day, you are here. Thank you very much for coming. So I call you as the seekers of truth. You're all the seekers of truth. That's why you want the gnana. That's why we are all here. So let us take a moment to pause, to turn inward, and to reflect on a divine symbol that holds within it the essence of the cosmos and the pathway to our own spiritual liberation. Very beautifully put. You said moksha. And this symbol is called as Srichakra. This is the sacred geometric form, and it's not just an object of worship. So if we think that namma devara maniyalli idannu ittu, if I do worship, enough. No, it's not just an object of worship. It is a living yantra. It is living. That's why they say be careful with it. Okay. So what is living here? Who is living? Srichakra Raja Nilaya, Srimat Tripurasundarī. Tripurasundarī is living in it. It's not because you have consecrated that she is living there. She has decided to live here, so she is living there. That's why the Srichakra is here. It's the other way around. It is a living yantra, a pulsating field of divine consciousness. The great Adi Shankaracharya, in his luminous work called as Soundarya Lahari, revealed to us the profound mystery of mother worship, not just as a mere devotion to a form, but as a path that integrates knowledge, energy, and bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. At the center of this revelation stands the Srichakra. So what is the Srichakra that the sages have worshipped and revered, yogis have meditated upon, and seekers have surrendered to? So what is the Srichakra? So it is a symbol of the Divine Mother in her cosmic form. It is a diagram, yes, but most importantly, it is also a gateway. It reflects both the outer universe and the inner dimensions of our being. So this is important. It represents the cosmos, which is called Brahmanda. It also represents us, our inner being called as Pindanda. That we don't know. We always think, yes, it is the cosmos. But if I tell you that, no, you are a living yantra yourself called as Srichakra, I'll say, how? Prove it to me. That engineering diagram is different from how I look. I am different, you are different, you are different. How can all of us be individual Srichakras? So these are all the questions that a rational mind will ask. Perfect. It's a path to the gnana. So as you progress, you will get the answer to it. Not easy to get these answers. So this answer is about the conflict resolution inside, meaning ದ್ವೈತಗಳ ನಿಗ್ರಹ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅದ್ವೈತ ಭಾವನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಲೋದು. ಅದೇ ಆದಿಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ. It embodies the sacred union of Shiva and Shakti, the eternal masculine and feminine principles whose dance gives rise to all of creation. Within this yantra, we find the truth of unity amidst diversity, the secret of divine balance, and the very structure of the universe itself. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? You are understanding what I'm saying? At its heart, the heart of Srichakra is, yes, Bindu. Where is the Bindu? Outside? Where is it? Center point, yes. It is the infinitesimal point from which the entire cosmos emerges and to which it returns back again. You heard of Big Bang and Big Crunch. Singularity, from singularity to Big Bang, the universe expands and then there is a big crunch. So in science, in cosmology, it's a linear progression. Nobody knows in science what happens again after big crunch. But in that's a linear process. Whereas in our Indian cosmology, it's a cyclic process. So that's what is called Panchakritya. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Tirodhana, Anugraha. Adike Panchakritya Parayana. That's a name given to her. So after annihilation, dissolution, annihilation, Tirodhana is concealment. Then the next one is Anugraha, recreation of the universe. Again, it goes back to Big Bang. So it's a cyclic process. So Bindu is the point where it again goes back and again it comes. That's what happens to us also. We come from Bindu, then our Sahasrara, then we go back again. After we die, we go back to Bindu. Again, we are born. Same process is here as well. Around the Bindu, there are 9 interlocking triangles, 4 upward, pointing upward, representing Shiva, and 5 pointing downward, representing Shakti, creating 43 smaller triangles. I'll show you here. Let me see. Yes. So this is the Bindu that you see. Okay. And these are the upward facing triangles. You got an answer for your quiz? Right? Upward facing triangles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 triangles called as Shiva triangles facing upward. These are interlocking triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then there are downward facing triangle. 1, 2, 3. So 5 downward facing triangles. They're like this. Upward facing, downward facing come together, the merge. Where they merge, that center point is Bindu. But not because they merge, the Bindu is there. The Bindu is there along with the merging. Okay, so it's a very complex diagram. So, okay. And if you look at the total number of triangles, you know how many are there totally? 43. Correct? Chaturbihi Shri Kantaihi Shiva Yuvatibihi Panchabhirapi Prabhinnabhihi Shambho Navabhirapi Mula Prakritibihi Chatushchatvarimshad Vasudala Kala Shrad Trivalaya Trirekabhisardam Tavacharana Konaha Parinata. Chatushchatvarimshad is 43 or 44? You said 43. Correct? So, yeah, this is the 11th shloka of Soundarya Lahari, which explains the architecture of Srichakra. It also explains the cosmology or cosmogony or the birth of the Srichakra, which is the entire Brahmanda. That's the 11th shloka which we chanted today. So in that, it says Chatushchatvarimshad. That means 44 triangles are there. But there are some variations that say 43 triangles are there also. So that's also one of the answers for you. So note down. So 43 or 44. If you take Bindu not as a triangle, then it's 43. If you take Bindu also as one of the triangles, so it's 44 triangles. So 5 downward facing Shakti triangles, 4 upward facing Shiva triangles, then 43 or 44 in total triangles. Okay. When we made this yantra, it so happened that it is 44 inches by 44 inches. Not a coincidence. Okay. And we did it on 11th Ekadashi, which is the 11th shloka of Soundarya Lahari. Okay, so numbers repeat themselves. We just need to understand and feel it and then see it. Okay, so 44 by 44 here.
And 11th year of the house.
11th year of their house. So we'll find a lot of numbers which are, coinciding. Absolutely. So, okay, we'll come back. So, create 43 smaller triangles or 44. It all depends on your marga, diksha marga, how you see it. Each housing a particular energy, a devi, a vibration. These are not just symbolic triangles. They are real energetic presences, experienced by those who dive deep into the meditative mysteries of this yantra. So this yantra unfolds in your meditative mode. This yantra is not just available because you are in Jagrat Avastha and you are looking at it, nahi. Not available like that. Through your logical, rational process, it's not available. Okay, only through your epistemology, your Diksha Marga, your Śrī Vidyā Marga, it's available to you. Okay, not easy. So your Bhakti and Gnana Marga Samanvaya through your Adishankara's Advaita Marga, it's available to you. He has given this. Okay. The ancients tell us, as is the microcosm, so is the, as is the macrocosm, so is the microcosm. ಹೇಗೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡವಿದೆಯೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಪಿಂಡಾಂಡವಿದೆ. But we don't know, we don't agree, we don't believe. And we don't have tools to prove it. Because all that knowledge is lost today. The Srichakra is not just outside us, it is within. Our own body is a living Srichakra. The energies of the sacred diagram correspond to the chakras within our spinal column. The Mooladhara, where Shakti slumbers in Sushupti, as Kundalini is the base. There is a shloka, which is the 9th shloka, Mahi Mooladhara. So that actually depicts this architecture. And the 10th shloka, Sudha Dhara Sarahi, which actually talks about the descent of Kundalini in Soundarya Lahari. And the Sahasrara, the 1000-petal lotus at the crown of the head, is the abode of Shiva. That's where Shiva lives. The journey of the spiritual ascent is the unfolding of this inner Srichakra. Again, I'll repeat. The journey of spiritual ascent. Am I in spirituality, am I ascending or am I descending? Am I going from outside to inside, right? So we are in the path of liberation. So we are ascending. Some people are slowly ascending. Some people are stagnant. Some people are accelerating in their ascension. Okay. So the journey of spiritual ascent is basically the unfolding of the inner Srichakra. We'll talk about it. This is why in the tradition of Śrī Vidyā, Srichakra is not merely meditated upon, it is realized. You have to realize Srichakra. It's not just meditated upon. Okay. Now, let us consider its worship. The worship of Srichakra, called Upasana, is among the most profound in all the Tantric and Vedic traditions. It is not just a ritual, but a finely tuned science of awakening consciousness. 3 primary paths emerge here. Number 1, Samaya Upasana or Samayachara. The inward path where the Kundalini is awakened and guided to unite with Shiva in Sahasrara. Said that she lives in Mooladhara, sleeping. Shiva is in Sahasrara. You guide her all the way through Kundalini awakening, bring her to Sahasrara. Okay. So this is the path of silence, of meditation and of deep inner alignment. This is Samayachara Marga. Adi Shankara was a Samayachara Upasaka. We don't know that. We only know that he wrote Prasthanatraya Bhashya. Beyond that, we do not know that he is a Samayachara Upasaka. And Śrī Vidyā Upasaka. He comes from a Śrī Vidyā lineage. His Paramaguru, who's a Paramaguru? Gaudapadacharya. Gaudapadacharya, then Govindapadacharya, then Shankaracharya. And today, that Avichina Parampara that we have, they're all Samayachara Marga. So, but they don't openly talk about it because It is a path of silence, meditation, and deep inner alignment. Only people who are in the path of silence, deep inner alignment, they can tune themselves to Samayachara. Adi Shankara did not talk about it. He practiced it. And he has encoded all this into Soundarya Lahari. Second is called Kaula Upasana. Kulachara or Kaulachara. It's more external and ritualistic, honors the mother in her energetic form at the base, meaning at the Muladhara, focusing on mantra, yantra, and ceremony. The third form of Upasana is called Mishra Upasana. It's the fusion of both the Samaya and Kaula, integrates the inner and the outer, the subtle and the gross. So don't worry about this Upasanas yet. So as you ascend slowly in the path of ascension, it will attract you. You'll go into it either in this Janma or next Janma or next Janma. So it's a path of multiple Janmas. Each of these approaches offer a unique doorway into the heart of the Divine Mother, but all are united by the Srichakra as the map. All these three Upasanas, the map is Srichakra. So the Śrī Vidyā Upasana cannot escape Srichakra. So they're all united by the Srichakra as the map, the tool, and the goal. You said very beautifully, the tool. It is not only a tool, it's a map. That's why this actually is a map. And it's a tool also. And it's the goal. How many of you recite Khadgamala? How many of you know Khadgamala? Okay. So Khadgamala is a tool to traverse from outside of the Srichakra to the inside of the Srichakra. We'll talk about it a little bit. Okay. So this is today is the starting point of understanding Srichakra. We'll have a series of these conversations, either offline or online, doesn't matter, depending on time, how we get to meet each other. So we will slowly unfold each perspective of Srichakra. So when we meditate upon Srichakra, we are not visualizing a symbol. It's not the symbol of Srichakra that you have to visualize. It's not, you don't have to memorize this diagram. That's not why Srichakra is there. You need to understand it. We are entering the sacred temple of the mother because it is Srichakra Raja Nilaya. It is her Devi Mandira. How many of you know this grantha called Lalitopakhyana? How many of you have heard of it? Read it? How many of you are librarians of that book? How many of you opened that book if it is there at home? Lalitopakhyana. So Lalitopakhyana gives you the architecture of the entire Srichakra as a cosmic diagram and all the devatas that are there. It talks about the whole Bandasura, Vada, Kirichakra Ratharoda, Geya Chakra Ratharoda. So all this technology, the entire cosmic revelations are there only if you know how to unfold it and understand it. So it's a sacred temple of the mother where each enclosure, when we talk about enclosure, we are talking about these enclosures, like this is one, then there are circle, then there is this. So these are all enclosures. And what are they called in Samskrita? Āvaraṇas. How many āvaraṇas are there? Please answer later. Okay, you got the answer. So where each enclosure, each triangle, each petal. So there is an enclosure, you know. There's a triangle, you can see. There is a petal, andre kamalada dada. You can see that also. Each of these is a threshold to deeper consciousness. We pass through the outer enclosures of form and duality. Form andrenu, saguna rupa. And duality is dvandva, conflict inside us, doubts, right? So basically, aham brahmasmi, how? Brahma and Atma, oh, I am Atma, how? These are all dualities that we have. How? I don't know. Of course, these dualities are correct. So all these dualities of form and function and duality, it's in the outer enclosure. It's called Bhupura. As we go from out to inside, we move to Advaita. Okay. So we pass through the outer enclosures of form and duality, moving inward towards the still center, the Bindu, where duality dissolves. Where Shiva and Shakti are no longer separate, where the worshipper, the worshipped, and the act of worship become one radiant truth. That's why you are the seekers of the truth. Alva? Artha agtidya? Slowly unfolding. This is the culmination of Śrī Vidyā. Not merely knowing what it is, not the gnana, but becoming it. Not just praising the mother. If you just sing Lalita Sahasranama, you are praising the mother. Soundarya Lahari is not about praising the mother. That's why you can't understand Soundarya Lahari. Lalita Sahasranama you can understand because there are 1,000 names. You are praising her. Nama, Sankirtana. Alva? So Bhakti Banbidatte Sulubhagi. Soundarya Lahari is more intimate. Inside it enters the heart in a very different way. So you are not just praising the mother, but realizing that we are her. Andre, we na I madana. Her is the same as Parabrahma Tattva. Yenaitu we are her aham brahmasmi. Aham brahmasmi realization and realizing that we are her are the same. This is very beautifully embodied in the 22nd shloka of Soundarya Lahari. Who can name that? 22nd? Bhavanitvam. How can I miss it? Bhavanitvam dase. Beautiful. One of the most heart-rendering, very beautiful shloka. So, but realizing that we are her, that she shines through our thoughts. She is shining through our thoughts. As we refine our thoughts, as we go inside her, as we become her, she is shining through our thoughts. That means when I talk, when I think, she is the one who is shining through, not me. And she is shining through our breath, our very existence. Even our nervous system reflects this sacred structure. The Sushumna Nadi, the central energy channel, the 6 chakras along our spine, they all correspond to the aspects of Srichakra. Last page, later, you see, as we finish, the last page in your worksheet, we'll go through that. That is like the secret unveiled. But you will not understand it that easily. So, ivagle hogbedi, wait madi. So they all correspond to the aspects of the Srichakra. Thus, in a very real sense, to worship Srichakra is to honor the divine that lives within your own body. To worship Srichakra is to honor the divine that lives within our own body. So if you honor the Srichakra, that means you are honoring the Srichakra within your own body, within your own mind, and within your own soul. As the Kundalini rises through these chakras, beginning in the earthbound Mooladhara, awakening the fire of Manipura, the compassion of Anahata, the voice of Vishuddhi, the insight of Agna Chakra, it finally reaches the Sahasrara, the 1,000-petal lotus, and merges with Shiva in a silence, in such a silence that words cannot touch it. So this, dear seeker, is the journey of the Srichakra, is the journey that the Srichakra maps for us. It's a sacred ascent from form to formless, from duality to Advaita, from separation to union, and from Atma to Paramatma. So when you gaze upon a Srichakra, you need to remember these points. Number 1, it is not outside you. Number 2, it's the shape of your own soul. Number 3, it's a temple of the goddess built into the very fabric of your being. Number 4, it's a cosmic design for your liberation. Let your heart bow to the Srichakra. Let your breath enter the Srichakra, and let the mother carry you into her center, into the Bindu, into the eternal light where all dissolve into bliss. Om Shri Matre Namaha. This ends our first part. Like it? Okay, beautiful. Okay, now If I want to answer your questions, the first part, let us see. Do I have the answers? Okay, we'll come to the answers. Maybe I'll take it at the end. Can you take the second part? Or let me see if I can answer. Let's see. Yeah, let me answer the first part. The first answer is C, 9. Srichakra contains 9 interlocking triangles, 4 pointing upward, which is Shiva, and 5 downward, which is Shakti, symbolizing the cosmic union. These form 43 smaller triangles, each representing the aspects of divinity and consciousness. 9 ellaru baradra? Baradidra?
Show the 9.
It's very difficult here. See, this is 1, 2, okay, like this 3, 4, like this there are 4 facing upward, 5 facing downward. You'll have to discover it. Okay. So, yeah, this point is this, that 5 facing downward. I'll just give you a tantric understanding of this. Masculine form, which is the linga, apex is up. It is like this. The yoni is like this shape. Okay. So feminine is always like this, masculine is like this. So, you know, when you draw a rangoli in your house, you do the basic rangoli. Alva, star. Not the Star of David, star. So star of the basic star of Srichakra, that basically is 1 triangle up, 1 triangle down. So here, this is 4 triangles up, 5 triangles down. Easy naiga? Okay. Don't ever go and draw Srichakra. Aapke bas ki baat nahi. Nahi, don't do it. Okay. Worship it. Second question. Answer is B. Interlocking upward and downward triangles. Srichakra's essence is the dynamic union of Shiva, consciousness, and Shakti, the energy, represented by triangles pointing up and down. Their interlocking forms the core structure of the Yantra, symbolizing the unity of male and female principles. Third is, answer is D, Bindu. The Bindu is the central point of the Srichakra. It represents the source of all creation, the union of Shiva and Shakti, and formless absolute manifesting the universe. All spiritual progression converges here. Fourth, the answer is 9. Oh, wow, cool. Srichakra is composed of 9 āvaraṇas, enclosures. So the triangle, that 9 is different. The enclosures are different from either inside to outside or outside to inside. Each is given a name. We'll come to that in our second talk. So the Srichakra is composed of 9 āvaraṇas, each one representing a layer of consciousness. Each layer, as you go inside, your consciousness changes, your level changes. You become self-centric, finally to world-centric. Andre, swa, nanu, pratama vibhaktiinda, vasudeva kutumbakamke hogtivi. It's always about what is in it for me, why me. Alinda, you go to, I'm here to serve the humanity. That journey is the consciousness development. That is from outside the Bhupura all the way your journey to inside into the Shiva-Shakti union of Bindu. So these correspond to the inner states of the sadhaka ascending through meditation or worship, culminating in union with the divine. Number 5, what's the answer? A, Shakti. The 5 downward triangles in the Srichakra symbolize Shakti, the dynamic creative female principle. They represent energy and movement that brings forth the manifested universe from the unmanifested absolute. 6th question, the answer is Shiva, A. The 4 upward pointing triangles represent Shiva, pure formless consciousness. Their union with Shakti triangles in the Srichakra symbolizes the creative interaction that generates the cosmos. Number 7, the answer is, wow, okay, cool. Yes, Bhupura. The outer square is called Bhupura. Can you know what does Bhupura mean? Bhu means what? Heart. Earth, yes. Bhu means earth. Bhupura means?
Place.
Okay. In your chakra, what does it represent? Muladhara. Why? Why? Okay. And what does it? What element does it represent? Earth. Earth is called what? Bhu. Again, Bhupura. Right? So remember that the Muladhara chakra is earth element. Bhupura is again earth element. So they correspond, correct? So the last diagram, and this Bhupura is also called as Trailokya Mohana Chakra. So when you go to the last diagram, you see circles going up. You start with the last one, which is Bhupura, which is the Muladhara, and ascend. Okay. So Srichakra's outermost chakra corresponds to your chakra, which is Muladhara. So where do you start? From Muladhara. Here, where do you start? From outer enclosure. Godaitala? So that's how Srichakra is mapped. So now you will not forget. Why not Prakara? Which Prakara? Prakara means? The same. Prakara, Bhupura, Prakara. Prakara is just given the name to confuse you. Prakara is a generic name. But Bhupura is a specific name. Bhupura is also a Prakara. Prakara ಅಂದ್ರೆ enclosure ಅಂತ. ಮಾಡಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಂತೋಷ. ಎರಡನ್ನು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ. Perfect. I give the answers only to confuse. ಯಾರು UPSC exams ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. Okay. So the outer square is called Bhupura, representing the physical or earthly realm. It acts as a protective boundary for the yantra. Every yantra will have that. So any yantra you see, there will be a Bhupura, so that it protects the yantra and indicates the sadhaka's entry into the spiritual journey. Any yantra you worship, there will be a Bhupura. That's where you enter. Okay. So even in your spiritual journey, you enter through. What did we pray first, Ivaga? Vatapi Ganapatim Bhaje. That's how we enter, right? So Muladharaika Nilaya. So avನಿಗೆ Muladhara Sthita. Ganapati. Ganapati represents again earth element. That's why he's heavy. Ganapati. So we enter taking the permission of Ganapati. That's why he's called Prathama. We do his puja. Then we enter our spiritual journey or any puja that we do. So Ganapati is the first one. Okay. Eighth is B. Lalitā Tripurasundarī. Srichakra is the yantra of Lalitā Tripurasundarī, the supreme goddess of Śrī Vidyā. She is the personification of beauty, power and consciousness, worshipped as the mother of the universe. 9 is... was it easy? Answer? Soundarya Lahari madtar garta. Not everybody, right? So the 8-petal lotus in the second āvaraṇa. Which is the second āvaraṇa here? Which is the 8-petal lotus? Can you see the? Can you give me the color? No. Blue alla. Green. Second āvaraṇa. From inside, not outside. I didn't say that. How many are there? 8. Just around Bindu. Here. You see 8. Okay. Alli, you know who lives? Vashinyadi Vagdevatas live there. And they have composed what? Correct. So now you know.
But you have mentioned as 8 petals, not as triangles.
Okay. Typo. Make it triangles. Okay. So 8 triangles basically represent the 8 Vagdevis. Okay. So who are they? Vashini. Go please study. Vimale. Jayini. Sarveshwari. Kaulini. 8. Alva? So 8-petaled lotus, 8 triangles. Sorry. In the second āvaraṇa houses the 8 Vagdevis, goddesses of speech and knowledge. They aid in manifesting the divine word and are invoked for spiritual insight and learning. In Soundarya Lahari, 17th shloka. Please write it down if you want. 17th shloka and the 30th shloka. 30. Okay, mention the Vagdevis. 10th, C. 10th is answer is C. Tip pointing up. In worship, Srichakra is drawn with the tip of the central triangle pointing upward, symbolizing the ascent to Shiva consciousness, as opposed to the downward, which would represent worldly or descending energy. Now, can we quickly go to the second level? Okay, then I will do the next.
This 10th one, can you explain?
Yeah.
10th one.
Huh.
Srichakra is often drawn. Tipping point.
What was the question?
Srichakra is often drawn in which orientation for worship?
Okay. Okay, there are two ways of saying Srichakra. It's a very, I will not dwell too much on this. You see this triangle, right? Where is it pointing? Down. Okay, you can also turn this triangle where it points up. Okay, there are some Shri Chakras that show that way. So next time when you have a Shri Chakra at home, ensure that it points down like this, the central triangle. Because what does it represent? I'll come to that. This triangle represents, this triangle, Shakti. No, inside is Bindu. Bindu aache iro triangle idiyala. Shakti. So Shakti is what energy? Feminine. It's called Mahayoni. So Yoni is triangle facing like this, downward. Okay, the apex facing downward. Ishtu knowledge saku, idu munde beda. Okay, so for this, if you want to understand, you have to go to the 19th shloka of Soundarya Lahari, Mukham Bindum Krutva. So tantric explanations sigatte nimge. 19ನೇ ಶ್ಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ. So let's quickly move. Oh, we are way past already. So the second level. In Śrī Vidyā, the first question in Śrī Vidyā, which internal realization does the Bindu of the Srichakra ultimately point to? Okay, good. Number 2, the 9 āvaraṇas of the Srichakra correspond inwardly to number A, external rituals, number B, 9 gross elements, number C, inner states of subtle consciousness, D, 9 divine worlds. Okay. Number 3, the ascent through Srichakra in internal worship symbolizes number A, Kundalini rise, B, ego resolution, C, karma surrender, D, dharma fulfillment. Kundalini ascension. Number 4, what does the central upward pointing triangle represent? A, gunas, B, ichcha gnana kriya, C, shringara trinity, D, fire altar. Actually, ignore this question. Okay. 5, according to Lalitā Sahasranama, which name links Devi to the Srichakra? Ignore. Ashte. 5, according to Lalitā Sahasranama, which name links Devi to the Srichakra? A, Tripura Bhairavi, B, Rajarajeshwari, C, Srichakra Raja Nilaya, D, Mahatripurasundari. All of them? Who is Tripura Bhairavi? Who is she? She is one of the Dasha Mahavidya. Rajarajeshwari, also correct. Srichakra Raja Nilaya is a epithet. It's a name given to her. Answer is Mahatripurasundari. All are correct. 6th, in deep meditation on Srichakra, what does the inner nada symbolize? A, prana control, B, Vishuddhi awakening, D, realization in Turiya, C, realization in Turiya, D, mental distraction. Guesswork, huh? C, Turiya. What is Turiya? Anybody? Don't use the word subconscious without knowing anything about it. Don't use the word energy, subconscious, consciousness without knowing what it is. Okay? But what is it?
Is there an English equivalent?
No. What is it? I am asking a question. What is it? The best answer is I don't know. Correct? Honest answer. Have you experienced it? Yeah, some people have. So in Lalitā Sahasranama, she is given the name Jagrati, Swapna, Sushupti, Turiya, and there is one now after that. Sarvavastha Vivarjita, Turiyatita. So in the last diagram, you will see that on the left. So where Sushupti ends, and you're at your Agna, and then above Agna, Sahasrara is Turiya. So that's why it's a realization in deep meditation of Srichakra. What does inner nada? I think these are something that musicians understand when you meditate on music. Okay, realization in Turiya. You could have touched that point. You could have, when you're in your meditation, you could have gone to that point, realized that oneness with everything. That would have lasted for a single fleeting moment. You would have come back. Maybe you would get confused it with Yoga Nidra also. Or maybe you confuse Turiya with Yoga Nidra or the other way around. Doesn't matter. But it's not Yoga Nidra. So it is much, much above it. So you go to Turiya, it is also called as Samadhi. Samadhiyalli Turiya Hoktiri. So that is what you realize when Shakti goes and meets Shiva in the Sahasrara. That is what our Mahimuladhare in Soundarya Lahari 9th shloka speaks of. It gives you the architecture and the process and the framework of achieving it. Okay, number 7. What does the progression from the Bhupura to Bindu represent spiritually? A. Mastery of elements, which is Panchabhuta elements mastery. B. Silence of mantra, which is Panchadashakshari mantra. C. Return to unity. D. Ethical evolution. Return to unity. ಏನು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ಡ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಯೂಲಿಪ್ ಇದು ಏನು ಯೂನಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ what does ethical evolution, how is it ethical?
It can be mastery of elements also.
To start with, yes it is, but what's the right answer? Return to unity is the final answer, right? So each answer appears deceptively real, right? So yeah, it's a path. What is unity?
That is the goal.
But what is unity? What is it called? Advaita. So unity is Advaita. You are returning to Advaita. Huh? It is yoga is a path. But your goal is returning to you. It's not going to unity. Why I am talking about this? It's returning to unity. That means you were in unity. When did you not see it?
When you are in duality.
No. When are you in duality?
When you are ignorant.
When are you in ignorance? When you are born. As soon as you come out of mother's yoni, you are filled in Ajnana.
And the karma.
Also karma, correct? Ajnana, karma. So idella and samskara. So this is basically duality. So you are returning back to unity. Finally, you are remembering who really you are. So that is what you are moving from outside to inside is about. Okay. 8th question. Why is Srichakra considered superior to all the other yantras? A. Contains Mahavidyas. B. Visual form of Devi. C. Bestows quick siddhis. D. Co-created by Vishnu and Shiva.
Fourth one is politically.
Let's make it politically incorrect now. Okay, what do you think is the right answer? Is that the most right answer? A? Also. Correct. None of the above. All of the above. Correct. No, I'm glad we are thinking. The questions are created such that it makes you think. Okay. I'm not here to give you the right answer. I'm here to take you through the path. Okay. We'll go through the 9th. How is the Panchadashi mantra mapped in Srichakra? A, on petals. B, on planetary levels. C, as 15 moon phases and inner deities. D, through chanting rituals. You know the answer, I know. What is the answer? Yake? Honest. I don't know.
Hey, you should have given in all these answers. I don't know.
No, I should have given, you don't know. The correct answer is correct. 15 moon phases. What are these 15 moon phases called in Samskrita? ಪಕ್ಷ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಪಕ್ಷ ಇದೆ ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ? 2 ಪಕ್ಷ. ಯಾವುದು? ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪಕ್ಷ, ಶುಕ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಷ. ಶುಕ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಷ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾಡ್ಯ, ಅಮಾವಾಸ್ಯ ಟು ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪಕ್ಷ ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮಾ ಟು ಅಮಾವಾಸ್ಯ. ಸೊ the Panchadashi mantra, how many letters are there? 15 letters. How many nityas are there? 15 nityas. Alva? So, and how many tithis? 15. So, map all of them inside you. Okay, and if you do it in Shukla Paksha, in a certain way, that is your Samayachara. So, which also means that Srichakra is not a spatial diagram alone. You look at it spatially. That means you think that it is a XYZ coordinate. Here it is only XY. Correct? Engineers gotagatte. Yen XY. If it is Meru, it is XYZ coordinates. Correct? But what about time dimension? Srichakra is a time dimension diagram as well. That is what is encoded in the 15 moon phases. It's a Tithi Chakra. That means Padya, Bidige, Tadige, all these are mapped inside that. We don't know because we don't understand time. Either in time we understand it as past, present, future, nothing beyond it. Correct? We don't understand. Otherwise, you have to go to Einstein's general theory of relativity. Time-space continuum. This is a time-space continuum yantra. Okay, how can you relate Śrī Yantra to a time dimension? Not easy. The starting point for you is Tithi Nitya Yaru 15. ಹೀಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಶ್ರೀಚಕ್ರ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Otherwise you will only see it as a spatial diagram. ಹೇಳಿ.
Is it accurate to say that Bindu is timeless?
Absolutely. ಬಿಂದು ಟೈಮ್ಲೆಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಬಿಂದುಗಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಏನದು? Correct, Mahabindu. That's why we are called Mahabindu. First Mahabindu, then comes Bindu. Adakke modlu Anadi. So Shiva said, Ekoham Bahusyama. That moment there was Spandana. Spanditumapi. Śiva-Śakti ayukto yadi bhavati shakta prabhavitum. Spanditumapi. From that Spandana, Mahabindu. From that Mahabindu, Bindu. From that Bindu, the first triangle. From that first triangle, the 8 triangles. From that 8 triangles, it explodes. So we'll talk about it. I have to run quick. Okay, time. You're almost there. So I will not be able to do 3. We will be able to do only 2 quizzes today. The third is the homework. So 10th question, what is the highest fruit of Srichakra worship? A, wealth and health. Which includes work-life balance. B, realization of I am Shakti. C, Siddhis. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳಿದೆ? ವಾವ್, ಹೇಳಿ. ಮಾ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಓಕೆ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ. This is my test, not your test. So, the Ashtasiddhis. Okay, in Sundarakanda, if you read, it is said that Anjaneya got this Ashtasiddhis and he was able to cross Lanka. And where do you get these Ashtasiddhis? In which point in your meditation of Śrī Vidyā you get Ashtasiddhis? Anybody? As soon as who are the wives of Ganapati? ಮೊದಲನೇ ಹೆಸರೇನೆ ಸಿದ್ಧಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿದ್ಧಿಯರಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಅಷ್ಟಸಿದ್ಧಿ. ಸೊ ಗಣಪತಿ ಯಾವುದು ಚಕ್ರ? ಮೂಲಾಧಾರ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಚಕ್ರ? ಗೋಪುರ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್? ತ್ರೈಲೋಕ್ಯ ಮೋಹನ. ಸೊ ತ್ರೈಲೋಕ್ಯ ಮೋಹನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲ 3 ಎನ್ಕ್ಲೋಜರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ರೇಖೆಗಳು. ಮೊದಲನೇ ರೇಖೆಗೆ ಸಿದ್ಧಿದೇವಿ ಮಂದಿರ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟಸಿದ್ಧೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್. ಸೊ as soon as you enter, they're so happy they'll give you the 8 siddhis and they will test you. Are you going to stick to the 8 siddhis and become a magician and a tantric guru and do chumantrangali, abracadabra, or will you go to the path of liberation? That's the test, first test in Bhupura itself. The gods will give you. Adike Ganapati holds this. That's the first siddhi. You will get siddhis. Siddhis is not a big deal. But rejecting the siddhis and going up is the big test. Okay. So that's why. What is the highest fruit of Srichakra worship? Not siddhis. Yeah. Okay. D is divine world access. Okay. Realization that I am Shakti. If Shakti and Shiva are together in Parabrahma Tattva, it is realization of Aham Brahmasmi. So A equals B, B equals C, A equals associative. It's mathematics, it's all engineering. So that's how you need to understand these topics. Okay, I will very quickly, Rupa, I think we will finish by 8. Okay, Alva? Okay. Okay, the second part, I think this is going to be important. We are getting deeper. Are you understanding? Is this method of teaching easy? Okay. So let us turn this called a supreme wisdom of Srichakra Vidyā. Srichakra is a path of knowledge. There is knowledge inside. So it's called Srichakra Vidyā. The Srichakra Vidyā is part of Śrī Vidyā. And Śrī Vidyā and Srichakra Vidyā both are same. So let us turn our minds inward and reflect as one of the most sacred, intricate and liberating paths in Sanatana Dharma, which is called as Srichakra Vidyā. It's the revered science of the Divine Mother. It is not merely a practice of worship. It is called as Moksha Vidyā, the very knowledge that leads to liberation. And central to this tradition stands the Srichakra, the supreme yantra or the geometric symbol that maps both the microcosm and the macrocosm. What are the core components of Srichakra Vidyā? Srichakra Vidyā rests upon 3 inseparable pillars. Please remember this. First one is called Yantra, the visual and structural form of the deity. It is the visual and structural form of the deity. Who is the deity? Yes. Number 2, Mantra, the sonic embodiment of the deity. Sonic means not Sonic 1, 2, 3 movie. Sound, nada, dhvani, shabda, rava. Vibration. Also, yes, vibration also. 3, the third one is Devata, the living conscious form of deity. Again, let me repeat. Number 1, Yantra, the core components of the Srichakra Vidyā. 3 ಇದೆ core components. ಒಂದು ಯಂತ್ರ, ಒಂದು ಮಂತ್ರ, ಒಂದು ದೇವತ. ಯಂತ್ರ you see here. Mantra, I don't know. Devata, okay, Lalitā Tripurasundarī. I know a little bit about her. Alva? Additionally, 4th one is important. You know what's the 4th component? Guru is essential. This is not the path that can be deciphered intellectually. You can't intellectually decipher this. Okay? You cannot be a liberal and understand it. You cannot be a postmodernist and understand it. Okay? You cannot be an anthropomorphic thinker and understand it. It's not an anthropological thing. Hey.
I think this requires an element of surrender.
Of course, absolutely. Bhakti and Gnana both, absolutely correct.
Not a challenging thing, but it's more of surrender.
It is.
Without surrender, it will not happen.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Yeah. It is a path of surrender and associated knowledge to surrender. Yes. Perfect. So this is not a path that can be deciphered intellectually or practiced casually. Casual practice baralla sigalla idu. Without initiation, meaning diksha. Diksha from a realized teacher, this Vidya remains sealed, locked away in front of you. You will walk in front of Srichakra? Never. For it is both highly technical as well as esoteric in nature. It's very esoteric. Oh, no, wow. I want to know. But very highly technical.
What is esoteric?
Esoteric means it's very beautiful to look at. Okay. It's very unattainable. So, idikelladakke esoteric antare. Very beautiful, but not easily attainable for you. And it's also technical, very technical. So, there are a lot of secretive knowledge associated with it. Let's look at each of these three items. This is the core of today's talk. The first pillar of Srichakra, which is the Yantra, this is the form of Shiva and Shakti. The Srichakra is far more than a diagram. It is described as the very body of Shiva and Shakti. It is considered a master plan of manifestation, revealing transcendental truths. It encapsulates both the cosmic universe, Brahmanda, and Bindu, where duality dissolves, where Shiva and Shakti are no longer separate, where the worshipper, the worshipped, I'm repeating. Let me go to the next one. Yes. And the individual body, which is Pindanda, the outer world and the inner world mirrored in perfect correspondence. This chakra is composed of 9 enclosures or chakras known as, it's called as, there's another name, it's called Navayoni. Unfolding in Srishti Krama. There's a new word now for you. It's called Navayoni, unfolding in Srishti Krama, the sequence of creation from the innermost Bindu to the outermost Bhupura. So there are two ways where we travel Srichakra. One is from inside the Bindu as the first part, first chakra, and then we go outwards to the Bhupura. This is called as the Srishti Krama. Srishti means what? Creation. How the entire universe got created. Aa kramadalli hogtivi. So the first one is called as Bindu or Sarvanandamaya Chakra. Il Bindu ide. Il kunkuma itpittidivi. Adrinda nimge kanistilla. You can actually remove that. This is a Bindu in the center. Kanisata? So that Bindu is called Sarvanandamaya Chakra, the central point. It represents the supreme bliss and the union of Shiva and Shakti, the seed of the universe, and the ultimate goal of awakened Kundalini. In human body, this is the Brahmarandra in the Sahasrara Chakra. Ellide Brahmarandra? Sahasrara Chakra ellide? Torspidi ellaru. Also, it starts. Last diagram hodre innonchuru artha agutte. No, let it starts here. So, it represents supreme bliss and the union of Shiva Shakti. It is in the Brahmarandra and Sahasrara Chakra. Here, the avastha is called Turiya Tita. This is the union of Shiva and Shakti. In Soundarya Lahari Shloka 8, Adi Shankara has described this as the Sudha Sindhu. This is beyond time, space, and form construct. Time illa, space illa, form illa. It's beyond all the three. Turiyatita. You cannot even imagine it. You can imagine something that has form. How can you imagine something that does not have form? Something that is kalatita, gunatita. Alva? So, and akashatita. It's beyond space element also. It's even beyond mind. You can't think about it. It's beyond intellect. Beyond intellect, you can't. How can you exist in the space? So it's Turiyatita. Atita, Turiya, Turiya, Atita. Beyond Turiya. This is the union of Shiva and Shakti. This is Aitala. Illi there are some yoginis. Paraparati Rahasya Yoginis anta illi yoginiyರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಏನು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಖಡ್ಗಮಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಖಡ್ಗಮಾಲಾನಲ್ಲಿ you don't start here, you start from outside, then you go inside. Whereas here we are going from inside to outside because it is Srishti Krama. When you go to Khadgamala, it is called as Srishti's opposite, Laya. You go Samhara or Laya Krama. What are you doing, Samhara? Your own ego. So you are awakening your consciousness. So some Khadgamala is a Samhara Krama of Srichakra traversal. So if somebody says, no, only women should do Soundarya Lahari, only women should do Khadgamala, now you know, no. It is for everybody. Alva? Papa, women have not taken it from us. It's just that men have not understood it. Okay. So it's the role of women to tell the men in their house, please go and understand Srichakra. Please go and understand Lalita Sahasranama. Please go and understand Soundarya Lahari. Okay. Second one is called Trikona. This is the Trikona. It's called Sarva Siddhi Prada Chakra. A downward facing triangle, it is the first emergence of Parashakti. That means Shiva-Shaktya Yukto, Spandana Aitu. The whole universe got created. What's the first thing that got created in the universe? Shiva is a consciousness. He doesn't need to be created. The first thing was Lalitā Tripurasundarī herself. So the downward facing triangle, the first emergence of Parashakti, symbolizing creation and feminine power. Does it mean that the whole universe is feminine? Are we sitting inside the feminine power? Absolutely yes. We don't know that and we don't want to accept it. We have created the whole universe as a patriarchal system because we don't want to accept that it is Mahayoni. Alva? That's the truth. That's what Adi Shankara said. But not in these loud words. He has embedded it inside. So it's also known as Mula Trikona. The entire universe or Brahmanda, which is made up of 36 tattvas, are within this Mula Trikona. Here, Atirahasya Yogini community reside in this Mula Trikona. Khadgamala bandak sigatalva Atirahasya Yogini napka idya alva. So we are going from inside to outside. The third one is Ashtakona, Sarvaroga Chakra, an 8 triangle formation associated with removal of all diseases. As we said, Vashinyadi Vagdevatas reside here, and these 8 triangles also, these green ones, Rahasya Yoginis, reside here. The fourth one is called Antardashara. Dasha means 10. Dashara means 10 triangles, and it's called Antardashara. So there are 2 of them here, right? This is one Dashara, blue color. Then there's a red color is another 10 triangles. This is called Bahirdashara, outside 10. This is called inside 10. So Antardashara, it's called Sarva Rakshakara Chakra. The 10 inner triangles governed by Nigarbha Yoginis, offering protection and aiding in dissolving the triple illusion. Triputi anta karitare. You can note down and Google what is Triputi. It's a long answer. Parkoli, Triputi. Andre yenu. Nigarbha Yogini community resides here in the Antardashara. Next is Bahirdashara, the red ones. This one, these 10. So here we are counting differently. When you are looking at 5 and 4 intersection, that's different calculation. Okay, here we are going from inside to outside. This is another calculation. Okay, so this is Bahirdashara. So illi Kulottirana yoginis actually reside and they control. Chaturdashara. Okay, for here 14 triangles are there. Okay, the green ones. So these are governed by Sampradaya yoginis. Then comes Ashtadala Padma. Okay, Sarva Sankshobhana Chakra, an 8-petal lotus governed by Guptatara yoginis. Next is Shodashadala, 16-petal lotus governed by Gupta yoginis. Next is Vrittatraya and Bhupuratraya. This Vritta, that means 3 circles, and the Bhupura are taken together. Okay, so here it's called Trailokya Mohana Chakra, which is the Bhupura. 3 circles and a square with 3 lines and 4 gates, called as the enchanter of the 3 worlds. Trailokya Mohana. This is governed by Prakata yoginis. Okay, to start with, this information is good for you. So as you go inside, Devi calls you. Hey, Nanna band artha madko. Nanna band artha madko. Understand me, understand me. She will pull you inside as you show interest. So as you go inside, you will get more knowledge. There are a lot of material. You would rather buy books rather than Google. Okay, buy authentic books and study. So these enclosures are also classified as Shiva chakras and Shakti chakras. Earlier we said we looked at one configuration. Here, this very carefully. One configuration is 5 and 4. This is what we saw. Okay, this is one configuration. There is another configuration, 4 Shiva chakras and 5 Shakti chakras. The second configuration is the 5 Shakti chakras are this triangle, this triangle, this triangle, this triangle, this triangle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not the inner Bindu. Take out the inner Bindu. This 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the 43 triangles. That's why it is 43, not 44. If you take 44, then Bindu also becomes this one. So remove the Bindu and look at the 43 triangles, 5 Shakti enclosures. Okay. Then how many are left? 4. 1, 2, 3 and Bindu. 4. So these 4 are called Shiva chakras. These 5 are called Shakti chakras. Where? In Samayachara Marga. In Samayachara Marga, the configuration of things are different. So, in Samayachara Marga, when you look at a Śrī Chakra, how do you know whether this Śrī Chakra is created according to Samayachara or Kaulachara? You can answer. Sorry. Yes. You can answer.
Depending on the position of the Bindu.
Depending on the position of the Bindu. Where is the position of Bindu? This is not in the center of the triangle. This is the center of the Bhupura. In Samayachara Marga, this Sahasrara here, this is called Chatushkona. That means you don't start here. You don't start your Bhupura here. You start your Samayachara Bhupura here. You actually ignore your, I'm not saying you ignore, you transcend your 6 chakras, you will put your Śrī Chakra here. That's Samayachara. You're advanced. After 41 shlokas of Soundarya Lahari. You start there. That's your starting point. After, in the 42nd shloka of Soundarya Lahari, you start. So, Avaga, this Bhupura is a starting point, and 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is Shiva. Where is this Shiva? The Sahasrara. And these 5 are the Shakti Trikonas, or the Shakti enclosures. This is a Samayachara Marga configuration of Śrī Chakra. So when you look at Chaturbihi Shri Kantaihi Shiva Yuvatbihi Panchapirapi. So the 5 triangles of Shakti, 4 triangles of Shiva is what is explained here. This architecture also gives this architecture. It also gives this architecture. Adi Shankara has done word play. That shloka, 11th shloka of Soundarya Lahari represents both the Samayachara and the other Achara, Śrī Chakra architecture. Okay, these are all the, I'm trying to give you more information so that you know, oh, ishtond idya illi. How can I go and study this? Alva? So, the 5 Shakti chakras are Mula Trikona, Ashtara, Antardashara, Bahirdashara, Chaturdashara. And the 4 Shiva chakras are Ashtadala, Shodashadala, Vrittatraya, and Bhupurat put together, and Bindu. Okay. So if we go from outside to inside, inside to outside, if we go from outside to inside, it's called as Samhara or Layakrama. We visualize that Srichakra consists of 9 āvaraṇas or enclosures. ಒಳಗಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆವರಣ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಕರೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ, because you are doing ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ. Srishtis are not created as āvaraṇas. Srishti is a process. And that's in Srichakra, you say whole Brahmanda is Srichakra. So how do you even understand the creation of cosmology? Not easy. Cosmology by itself is a science. So if you superimpose that with Srichakra, how do you understand that? That is one architecture. Another architecture is the human body. I go from outside to inside, from material to non-dual. Hange hodaga, to understand Srichakra from its outermost structure, one must begin with the outer square called as Chaturashra. It is called as Chaturashra or Bhupura, which is composed of 3 concentric lines or boundaries. Each of these lines or enclosures, it encloses the other. Ondunondu enclose ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. And there are 4 gates, each on one side. This square enclosure is called Bhupura, the earthly realm, or the portion that connects with the earth. Proceeding inward from the Bhupura, one encounters 3 circular lines drawn from a single central Bindu. So, E center point in the circle irutte, because you can't draw a square. You can always draw a circle, alva. So, circle ge idu coincide agidre clean agi. So, you know that this is the central point of the circle as well as the square. So, these 3 concentric circles are known as 3 Valaya. How much time do we have? 8 aita. I have to finish this. Are you okay if we take another 15 minutes? Yes. Okay. I'll go fast. Okay, now that you have understood, this constitutes the first avarana named Trailokya Mohana Chakra, meaning the circle that enchants the 3 worlds. Crossing these 3 circles, one enters a second enclosure which consists of a lotus of 16 petals. Gottala, illinda 16 petals hogtivi. This is called as Sarvasha Paripuraka Chakra, meaning the circle that fulfills all desire. Beyond this, the third enclosure consists of the lotus of 8 petals known as Sarva Sankshobhana Chakra, meaning the circle that agitates or stirs all things. From here onwards, all subsequent enclosures consist of various triangle formation. Illinda mundik hod takshana ella triangles bandubidutte. I wish you sat here in the front. All of you who are sitting on the side, this is a beautiful place to understand the Srichakra. So from here onwards, all subsequent enclosures consist of various triangle formation. The 4th avarana found after the 8 petal lotus is Chaturdashara, comprising of 14 interlocking triangles called as Sarva Saubhagyadayaka Chakra, meaning the circle that bestows all forms of auspiciousness and fortune. So illi nimage Khadgamala Stotra or Nava Avarana Puja, or if you look at Muthuswami Dikshitra, Nava Avarana Kritis. ಈಗ ನವ ಆವರಣ ಕೃತೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ, ಆನಂದ ಭೈರವಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶುರುವಾಗಿ? ಧ್ಯಾನ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, ತೋಡಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ತೋಡಿ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ, ಧ್ಯಾನ ಕೃತಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಎರಡನೇದು ಆನಂದ ಭೈರವಿ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಯಾವ ಎನ್ಕ್ಲೋಷರ್ ಅಂತ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಕೇಳಿ. ಅದು ಸಂಹಾರ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರಾ ಮುತ್ತುಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತರು, ಆರ್ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರಾ? ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು? ಆನಂದ ಭೈರವಿದ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಕಮಲಾಂಬ ಸಂರಕ್ಷತು ಕಮಲಾಂಬ ಸಂರಕ್ಷತು ಇನ್ ಆನಂದ ಭೈರವಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟು. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅವರೇ ಲಿರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ತ್ರೈಲೋಕ್ಯ ಮೋಹನ ಚಕ್ರ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ತರ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ತ್ರೈಲೋಕ್ಯ ಮೋಹನ ಚಕ್ರ? ಆಚೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಈಸಿ. ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಕೃತೀಸ್ ಈಸ್ he has taken Khadgamala, he has taken all this. If you see the lyrics of Muthuswami Dikshit's Navavarana Kritis, it actually encodes all this. Whatever is in Khadgamala is actually in Navavarana Kriti. So now will you go and study Navavarana Kriti? Yes. See, Srichakra is coming into you already. Okay. So now next, fifth enclosure is Bahirdashara, consisting of 10 outer triangles followed by Antardashara, also containing 10 inner triangles, because the same thing as we go inside, because there are 2 10 triangle circles. The outer one is Bahirdashara, inner one is Antardashara chakra. It's called Sarvartha Sadhaka chakra, meaning the circle that fulfills all objectives. Going inward past the Bahirdashara, one reaches the Antardashara chakra, named Sarvarakshakara chakra, meaning the circle that grants all kinds of protection. Proceeding inwards again, the next 7th enclosure is Ashtakona, a circle formed by 8 triangles, and it's also called Sarvarogahara chakra, meaning the circle that destroys all diseases. The 8th avarana reached after crossing the Ashtakona is a downward facing central triangle referred to as the main triangle or Mula Trikona, which is called as Sarvasiddhiprada chakra, meaning the circle that grants all spiritual attainments or siddhis. At the very center of this main triangle is the Bindu, the 9th avarana, known as the Sarvanandamaya chakra, meaning the circle filled with all forms of bliss. This is the innermost and most sacred point of Srichakra. So this ends the first part, which is the first pillar, which is Yantra. Okay, sorry, we are getting delayed, but don't you want a little more? Beka? Late ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ you can excuse, you can go. Otherwise, I think we will finish it off. So Devi is here, so she wants us to know. The second pillar is mantra. This is the sound form, meaning Shabda Swarupa of the divine. The mantra is considered as the sonic body of Devi, or the Shabda Sharira of Devi. Just as her Yantra is her geometric form, the most central mantra in Śrī Vidyā is the Panchadashi mantra, made up of 15 syllables. When the 16th syllable is added, it becomes Shodashi mantra, the most complete and the most secret form. The mother is also identified as Akatha. Akatha form anta ide. Andre akaradinda kakaradavariಗೆ, ಕಕಾರದಿಂದ ತಕಾರದವರೆಗೆ, ಥಕಾರದಿಂದ ಕ್ಷಕಾರದವರೆಗೆ. ಕ್ಷಕಾರ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಕಾರ. ಸೊ 48 ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 16 ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಷೋಡಶಿ. So that means she is made up of matruka. That means she is made up of varnas. That's why varnas andre vyanjana hagu swara, right? So vowels and consonants. So that forms the Shabda Prapancha, the sonic form. Aitalva, Panchadashakshara is sonic form. Swara and vyanjana put together. The whole sonic form, the Varna Mala is her. Adike Akhatha form. Structured in 3 divisions, Akaradi, Kakaradi and Thakaradi, totaling 48 letters. These correspond to her complete verbal form and the very speech of creation. The third pillar, we are skipping this, Parapashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari. You go and study all that, the Nada Swarupa, Nada, Bindu, Kala aspects of Devi. So these are all the Śrī Vidyā, the Vak Prapancha of Devi. The third pillar is the Devata. This is Lalitā Tripurasundarī herself. At the center of this system is the supreme goddess, Shri Lalitā Tripurasundarī, the one from whom all other gods and goddesses emerge. 330 ಕೋಟಿ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ, including ಹರಿಹರ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ. ಹರಿಹರ ವಿರಿಂಚ ಆದಿಭಿ ಹಿ ಅಪಿ. The one from whom all other gods and goddesses emerge. She resides in the Bindu of the Srichakra and is also identified with Sahasrara in the human body. Which shloka in Soundarya Lahari corresponds to this statement? She resides in the Bindu of the Srichakra and is also identified with the Sahasrara in the human body. Yava shloka ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಇದನ್ನ? 8ನೇ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ? ಸುಧಾ ಸಿಂಧೋರ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಸುರವಿಟಪಿ ವಾಟಿ ಪರಿವೃತೆ ಮಣಿದ್ವೀಪೆ ನೀಪೋಪ ವನವತಿ ಚಿಂತಾಮಣಿ ಗೃಹೆ Shivakare manche Paramashiva Paryanka Nilayam Bhajanti Tvam Dhanyaha Katichana Chidananda Laharin. So this is where she resides. This is her mandira. That mandira is the same as Devi Mandira, which is Srichakra, which is Srichakra Raja Nilaya. Both are same. That means you have to transpose and create, juxtapose Srichakra. The Bindu of the Srichakra coincides with the Brahmarandra of your Sahasrara, which is the Bindu. So put the Srichakra here. Put her feet here. Her feet is on Srichakra. Her feet is on the Bindu. And the Bindu of the Srichakra coincides with your Sahasrara. Ashte, simple. Very complex. Not easy. That's a destination, not a starting point. Okay. She is Mahatripurasundari, presiding over all the 9 chakras of the Srichakra. She is both the form and the formless essence, the source, the substance, and culmination of this sacred Vidya called as Śrī Vidyā or Srichakra Vidya. Eradu one day. So, very quickly, I will go through the different forms of worship. Once I nodidvi idu. One samaya. In this method, the practitioner, what is samayachara worship? The practitioner visualizes the Srichakra within the subtle body, not your gross body. What does your subtle body contain? Atma, Anandamaya Kosha.
Chakras.
Starts with chakras, right? So your Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, then causal body, then your Anandamaya Kosha. Your subtle body in Shurvagata, which you can't even feel. Alva? So the practitioner visualizes Srichakra within the subtle body, which means the Dharakasha. The key practice involves awakening the Kundalini Shakti from the Mooladhara and guiding it upward through the Sushumna Nadi to unite with Shiva in the Sahasrara. This path follows the Srishti Krama, not the Samhara Krama, in Samayachara. These are all secrets, don't worry about it. From Bindu outward symbolizing creation. Here Shiva and Shakti are treated as equal. Adike Sama. Shiva-Shakti are Sama. Both are called, one is called Samaya, another is called Samaya. So both are Sama. Adike avrige Samya anta kariteve. Adike itu Samayachara. So Shiva and Shakti are equal. They are not. They are independent, codependent on each other, but they are equal. So ಆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ತಲುಪಬೇಕು. That means you have to reach the Advaita sthiti inside you where there are no conflicts, that Shiva and Shakti are the same. They are equal. ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಅದ್ವೈತ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ then you are reaching the Samayachara mode. The Sahasrara is equated with Srichakra itself. ಈ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಯಾಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ Kaula, the external worship, it involves external ritual such as drawing of the Srichakra on copper, cloth and other surfaces. This actually comes from Lakshmidhara Vyakhyanadinda bandiro statement idu. The focus is on worshipping Shakti at the Mooladhara, the seat of vital power. Somebody is pinging me. It follows the Samhara Krama where the movement is from outer Bhupura inward, symbolizing dissolution. Finally, the last point, we'll finish. Let us see the benefits and fruits of Srichakra Vidya. Phalashruti bekalva namage. Yak ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So the scriptures declare that all bhuvanas, that means all the worlds, are sustained through Srichakra Vidya. Even major deities like Indra and Devas are said to derive their power through this system. The fruits include wealth, progeny and material prosperity. Needless to say, bhoga. Attainment of all forms of siddhi, including Anima Garima. They are like the basics. Okay. So, 30ನೇ shloka, Soundarya Lahari, if you see, the one who worships Devi, thinking that Devi and him are the same, rejects all the siddhis that are given, including what is given by Shiva, such that the Pralayagni also does Nirajana to him. That's the 30th shloka, beautiful shloka of Soundarya Lahari. So, attainment of all forms of siddhi, including dharma, artha, kama and moksha. Aita? Liberation from disease and suffering, jara, mrityu, harini. The realization of Sat Chit Ananda, the supreme bliss in this Janma. Ultimate moksha in 5 forms: Salokya, meaning dwelling in deity's realm; Samipya, nearness to the deity; Sarupya, assuming the deity's form; Sayujya, merging with the deity; Kaivalya, the complete identification with pure being. It is even said that worship of other deities, if performed without understanding the principles of Srichakra, may prove ineffectual or counterproductive. Lalitā Tripurasundarī artha madkondu, then you do other deities worship in the Srichakra also. Thus, Śrī Vidyā is upheld as supreme Vidya, the ultimate knowledge that leads directly to liberation. What is the conclusion? Okay. Srichakra Vidya is not merely a theological construct. It's a living, luminous path, deeply esoteric, supremely powerful, and profoundly transformative. It's a journey from sound to silence. Shabdadinda nishabda hogodu, dari idu. And from form to formlessness. Dvaitadinda advaita. Sagunadinda nirguna. From dualistic perception to non-dual realization. To walk this path is to surrender, as you rightly said, sir, at the feet of Lalitā Tripurasundarī, the one who creates, sustains, and dissolves the worlds through her gaze, her smile, and her will. Let us bow to her, the eternal flame of Śrī Vidyā, who is Lalitā Tripurasundarī. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Namaskara. Please. I think you should just keep this on your lap.
On this auspicious day of Guru Purnima, getting the knowledge of Śrī Vidyā or Śrīchakra directly from the Guru is really a very big blessing to all of us who are here.
Don't move this way. They are light.
The path of Śrī Vidyā
Oh, I see. Okay.
is not an easy one because it's been a wonderful experience for me since more than a year. I have been given Śrī Vidyā Diksha by my Diksha Guru. And I've been initiated with mantras, as Keshava told. And from the other hand, I'm so blessed that with the mantras, before the Diksha, the Gnana has been given by Keshava for me. So both are happening together, and my experience is very profound. In about 14 to 15 months of my Diksha, of my mantra japas, and of my classes and my learning under Keshava, I can definitely say that the DNA of my body is transforming. That's my experience. I definitely say that it is not an easy path, but if you want to do it, you can do it 100%. Because when you want to do it, Devi will start showing gurus, Devi will start showing the pathways, whether it is through Diksha or through Gnana or through Bhakti or through surrender. Everything starts happening on its own without our control. Only thing you want is you want to do it. that determination. So I am a live example for that, and I've been experiencing a lot under both my gurus. So it was a very insightful event and session, Anna. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I think all of you are blessed. Many kids are here. I know it was a little too much for them, but I know it's there, Akrita Punya and Sukrita Punya. Even though they haven't followed it, they are here. It will take them. It will take them. Devi will take them. So, and I heartfully and sincerely thank Keshavana for his time and for his what to say, I don't get words, because he's completely invested his life and dedicated his life to bring out all these to all of you. Otherwise, we are not introduced to. There are not many people who come out and give what is Śrī Vidyā. It is always hidden as a rahasya. So we want people like you who come and give it out to people, so that at least people who are interested can dive into it. And we are all there to guide. Mahabindu is there to guide. Whether it is with the Diksha or with the Gnana or with the Bhakti Kandas, anything. So we are all there. So thank you all for your patience, though we overshooted the time. So before we wind up the session.
Can I need to.
Yeah.
I need 2 minutes. Yeah. One of the pages that you have is, if you see in your worksheet, there is where Adi Shankara has installed Srichakras. Knowing Srichakra is one. Okay, so this is something that you can read. These are all the Shakti Pithas. And then in another page after that, there is a Google map. So that's very interesting, especially for Jayashri ji. So I've circled those places where Adi Shankara has visited and consecrated Srichakra. From Mukambika all the way. If you see, there is actually a path. It's a semicircular path. Alva? It's like a Chandra. Right? So you can see he must have traveled on foot from there to all the way like that. So it actually gives you motivation to go and visit these places where Adi Shankara has consecrated the Srichakra. Having said that, the last page, which is the diagram that you will go and read by yourself, starts from Muladhara Chakra. There you see those circles, and it doesn't end in Sahasrara. So those are the 6 chakras. After that, there are 9 more chakras, which is called Sukshma chakras, which are called Navanadas, which is a Turiyatita. So up to Sahasrara is our Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Above that is Turiyatita, and to the right there is a corresponding thing that says Muladhara is Trailokya Mohana, and how the Nava āvaraṇas are linked to our 6 chakras plus another 9 Navanadas which are above the Sahasrara. So Soundarya Lahari is not only about the 6 chakras, which are basically in the first 41 shlokas, but after that the 42nd shloka onwards, which Adi Shankara has not talked about, these are not saguna. These are how you divinely understand. After you transcend your Sahasrara, how are you going to see the cosmic mother? Not as saguna, but after transcending. In your Turiyatita, how is mother form looks like? The cosmic mother. That is what 42nd shloka onwards up to 100 is about. So Soundarya Lahari is a very, very magnificent piece of kavya. So I would urge all of you to study it by yourselves. If you need help from us, we are always here. With this words, I'll conclude, and there is a lot of homework material for all of you. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to Rupa and me, but you may not get immediate answers. As you transcend and walk the path, it will happen. Thank you very much.
with due respect, I would invite Sundar sir to come and honor Keshava for the session. Thank you so much.
I'll close the live end stream. So thank you, everybody. And
Thanks for all of your patience. Please have prasadam and then take a